Imagine landing on this planet. Would you be able to survive it? And how would you land here? This is What If. On Geographic World, you've arrived on this unknown planet, and you were greeted with a water world, with steam escaping off the boiling ocean. But luckily for you, you landed on the bright side of this two-faced exoplanet, called TOI-270d, where one side is covered in perpetual darkness and the other is always bright. Considering the fact that there won't be any land for your spacecraft to land on, and luckily you know how to swim. Yeah, I just said that to make you feel better. See, swimming does give you an added advantage, but it might still not really help your condition a lot here. I mean, you landed here by accident, this wasn't your original destination, and unfortunately for you, you tried to stay afloat, but the intense pressure of the planet, up to 10s or even 100 times greater than Earth's, made it extremely difficult to stay afloat, so you had to go with your only survival option. You can swim, so somehow, in your spacesuit, you managed to keep your head above the water in this water-covered planet. But the heat from this planet would begin to get to you, and you'd find yourself feeling hotter and hotter inside your spacesuit, accompanied by claustrophobia. As the spacesuit begins to shrink, you'd feel like you might suffer a heat stroke any moment. It'd seem like you've been there for just a minute, but considering the fact that it takes 11.4 days to make a year in this planet, due to its closeness to its star, you've probably been there for quite some time, some big time. Your instinct for survival would kick in, but this time at a greater force, and you'd immediately begin to look for any sign of life here. Anything, any creature, any being, for crying out loud. You'd scream at the top of your lungs, but you'd be met with just the vast expanse of water. Nothing more, no response, not even an echo of your own voice. And in that moment, you'd realize that you're about to meet your doom. You'd quickly look around for your spacecraft, but suddenly, you hear the faint sound of it imploding deep beneath the ocean due to the intense heat and pressure of the environment. And for a moment, the sound seems to reverberate in your eardrums, and you'd feel like you're next in line. But you're determined to survive. No, you can't let your love for science and astronomy be the very death of you. And in your quest for survival, as you notice your breathing becoming labored, you'd quickly take off your space helmet, a deadly mistake you didn't realize until it was too late. There's been a deadly crash between your instincts for survival and severe disorientation. Your need to survive had pushed you to take off your helmet in search of fresh air and space, as opposed to the claustrophobia, but your intense disorientation, a sign that heat stroke was right around the corner, made you not to realize something very crucial for your survival. But as you realize the grievous mistake you made with confusion as to why you made it, your senses seem to be back just long enough to say goodbye. As soon as you take off your helmet, assuming that you are in an oxygen-filled atmosphere, you'd quickly begin to experience suffocation as you begin to find it extremely difficult to breathe, as you realize that this planet has no oxygen. But I wish that was all this planet had to offer. You'd also feel the intense heat of the atmosphere on your face, as if it was burning, with heat stroke now kicking in at an alarming rate, and for a moment you'd begin to wonder if you accidentally landed somewhere close to the sun. But that's just before the confusion that comes with heat stroke starts kicking in. You'd begin to fiddle with your helmet while trying to figure out how to put it back on, and in the process it slips out of your hands and into the ocean. But that's not the only thing that goes under. Having lost a lot of strength from trying to keep your head above the water, you'd feel yourself slipping down below. You'd appear to have also lost all sense of direction, becoming utterly disoriented and confused, and thinking that it's probably going to be safe there. And with almost no strength left, you'd not try to fight back anymore, as your mind travels back to how you landed here.
I want to go to space. Get me a space travel agency to make me a rocket and spacecraft. I don't care what it all takes. Licenses? Approval? Drive test? I've got money, and I'm more than prepared to take up the challenge.
Good luck, boss.
And as your mind slowly drifts back to your surroundings, your face would suddenly get submerged in the hot boiling water. But it'd all seem like slow motion to you, your body's own way of responding to the life-threatening situation. And then, it's doomsday in this desolate planet. But what if you didn't take your space helmet off? You wouldn't be so lucky either. As time goes on rapidly, there's no shore to swim to and no means of transportation to get away with. The heat stroke increases, and you begin to feel intense claustrophobia with massive disorientation. But again, that's not going to be the only problem. You'd also lose stamina to keep your head above the water, and you'd begin to drown as the heat seems to be getting hotter and your spacesuit seems to be shrinking on you. But before you're too deep into the water, or lose all sense of direction, or even before your spacesuit melts, the pressure becomes too intense for the spacesuit, and there was an implosion. But that's just on planet TOI-270d. Rest assured, the likelihood of this happening to you is more like impossible. But there is a place like this on Earth. It's called the Boiling River. And unlike this exoplanet, we actually know why this river boils. And no, it's not caused by volcanic activity. Want to know why too? Check out this video.